This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And a good Tuesday afternoon, a windy Tuesday afternoon. Our program today being brought to you by our good friends at Taco John's, where, yes, today is Taco Tuesday. Remember, Nachos Navidad on the bill, and, of course, you can get a gift card for this holiday season. I'll tell you what, it'll be perfect for a great stocking stuffer. Taco John's here in Cheyenne. Remember, today, Taco Tuesday. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30. And again, with the Jayco line, you'll find travel trailers, fifth wheels. You'll find all kinds of goodies for you. And they're still having their hail of a sale. So check out all of the special deals going on today. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. They have, for a limited time, their chicken tortilla soup. Ooh, that is so nice and warm and tasty. Along with their peppermint chocolate chip milkshake. And that is going to be here for a limited time as well. Of course, they serve up breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Chick-fil-A, corner Windmill, Del Range, Rain City's Place, right across from Menards. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way, as we had lunch the other day with AJ and talking about the 18 model year needing to go bye-bye, and the 19s are coming in right now. So again, whether you do the new model year or you grab one of those closeouts, it's going to look pretty doggone nice in your garage or on your driveway today. Kia of Cheyenne with the Kia family on the lot for you today. Platte Valley Bank with two banking locations. My good friend Rick Flood invites you to come on by, see them over at Vanda High, the original address, or catch them over on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Again, Platte Valley Bank offering all of the banking services you come to know. Matter of fact, if you're doing the personal thing like me, walk inside. Great friendly staff waiting for you at Platte Valley Bank. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs with your doctor's prescription. Let Gene and his staff fill those prescriptions for you. Same location as always, right there on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Don't forget, they got a convenient drive-thru. Lennox Auto Body, ×2, founded by Dick Lennox, and the tradition carried on by daughter Heather. As Heather and her staff over on Dunn Avenue, they do a great job with the repairs of trucks and autos. And, of course, they take care of the auto glass and detail portion of the program over on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank over at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Mondello's Pizzeria, open 7 days a week, directly across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Oh, by the way, if you haven't tried one of Joe's fantastic sandwiches, always on fresh baked bread, keyword fresh, everything, ingredients, dough, it's all good all the time over at Mondello's Pizzeria. And we also want to thank Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Again, heating problems, well, just don't give up. Get a hold of Mars and let them come on by and check out your heating units today. Mars Plumbing Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. We get things underway with our scoreboard, and it's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
Finally, anyways, LCCC basketball.
I wish you could do this without.
I got plenty.
Look, all I have is just names of locations. I don't have all of the banter stuff that I talk about. You couldn't even do that.
I could easily do that. I just choose
not
to. Anyways,
you choose not.
Anyways, LCCC basketball in action coming up tomorrow, as we will have men in action as they will host Northeastern Junior College, a game that will tip off at 6 o'clock, 5:40 pregame here on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming on Periscope and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. So again, tune in. Men's basketball action happening tomorrow live over at the Rack as LCCC finally back at home after a lengthy road trip for the past couple of weeks. NHL action for tonight, Buffalo Sabres hosting the San Jose Sharks at KeyBank Center. You also, too, will see the Ottawa Sens traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Flyers. Montreal Canadiens hosting the Carolina Hurricanes. Anaheim Ducks in Tampa taking on the Lightning. Nashville Predators playing host to the Colorado Avalanche at Bridgestone Arena. Arizona Coyotes traveling to Minnesota to take on the Wild. Also, too, the Pittsburgh Penguins on the road. They will be in Winnipeg taking on the Jets. Chicago Blackhawks playing host to the Vegas Golden Knights at United Center. Dallas Stars in Edmonton taking on the Oilers, and the Vancouver Canucks at Rogers Arena hosting the LA Kings. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA slate, it'll be the Knicks and the Pistons tonight in the Little Caesars Arena. In Motown American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida, has the Miami Heat hosting the Atlanta Hawks. Raptors and the Grizz will get together at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. At the Pepsi Can in the Pepsi Center will be the Nuggets tonight and the Lakers. I guess that would be your marquee matchup of the night. And the Pacers and the Suns will get together at the Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. It is a Tuesday afternoon. When we have a Tuesday afternoon, that means it's going to be a coach's show today, right? Well, we have to move up a coach's show.
What the hell are you on about? Well, I know it's every Wednesday.
I'm messing with everybody's biological clock.
Once we get into 2019, January, again, with college basketball, thanks for doing that live on air. Again, you just don't think. You don't think clearly.
You can't. It don't matter. You can't.
I like how you just bumble and stumble of
talk.
trying to think of something out there. But as we get into 2019 with college, at least with JUCO basketball, again, Wednesdays will be dedicated to LCCC men's and women's basketball. So, yes, 2019 will move up the Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show to a Tuesday or maybe a Monday, whatever works best.
Day you can think of.
Possibly, whatever works best for Coach Breen and the Cheyenne Stampede. But yes, we have moved them up to today, 4:30 to 5, as we will talk with not head coach Neil Breen this time around, since they were on a bye week. We pretty much covered everything with him. Instead, we'll hear from GM Mark Lantz, get the little landscape, at least state of the Stampede from at least GM Mark Lantz. And then also, too, we'll talk with forward Hakan Salt, someone we've talked to already, but we'll get the at least information, at least a little update from Hakan of how things are going with his time. Again, the guy all the way from Istanbul, Turkey, fresh to Cheyenne, Wyoming. So kind of pick his brain on the 2018-2019 season and just kind of compare and contrast of his experience from last season with the Cheyenne Stampede. So that's coming up later today, along with also, too, in the 4 o'clock hour as well, we will hear the press conference from one Vance Joseph of the Denver Broncos, hear what he has to say after their victory and what they have to look forward to, at least coming up with the Cincinnati Bengals. So, again, all that coming up in the second hour of today's show. And on top of everything else, we have tickets to give away as well with the Cheyenne Stampede being in studio with us. They will be in action coming up this Friday, 7:35 puck drop over the Ice and Events Center. They will play host to the Northern Colorado Eagles once again this season. So it's only one game this weekend against the Northern Colorado Eagles this Friday. On top of that pair, we'll be also giving away 2 ticket vouchers to go choose a game, any home game of the Wyoming Cowboys basketball, as that's what they've apparently done this season, as it is kind of pick and choose of what game. So I guess for folks out there, you can go to a March contest, a February, January. You can even go to tomorrow, or at least, no, they're on the road, but whenever the Cowboys are back at home. Again, I don't really pay attention to that schedule right now because we're busy with LCCC, so that's what's on my mind. And then also, too, on top of that, we will give away, on top of that, nice little prize pack, 2 goodies to go see our friends over at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Del Range and Windmill. So a lot going on in the second hour because that's when we're giving away that prize pack as well.
Sounds wonderful.
You got nothing to say?
Yeah, I do. I
got plenty on my end.
Then go ahead.
Did you happen to see that we had a new league announced? At least it's been announced, but teams were announced. Draft was happening today, as apparently arena football is back across the land. After the AFL went defunct, we now have the Alliance of American Football League. Does that move your meter? It starts up at least February 9th, 2019. 8 teams have been announced so far.
8 cities where?
Let's see. Atlanta, Birmingham, Orlando, Memphis, Arizona, Salt Lake City, San Antonio, and San Diego are your 8 locations.
San Diego won't support. Salt Lake City won't support. Arizona won't support. I can tell you 3 teams are going to.
It doesn't get you excited, though, to watch more football once regular season of NFL wraps up?
No, not at all.
Is it something that also, too, maybe plays a little, at least takes away some viewership from the XFL that might be going around that time? I don't know. But, hey, arena football's back, though. Be excited so you can watch football even longer. As much as it's not like, that exciting.
Arena football's not the.
Arena football went away for a reason.
Yeah.
Because no one cared.
No fan support.
Yeah.
So, again.
So I don't know why they're bringing back arena football or why this is trying to come back.
The Arena Football League is kind of like a person having a heart attack. They paddle it, and they bring it back to life. Okay? And then,
which I guess
it dies,
as you say,
and then they bring the paddles out again.
Is that what – could you equate that to the XFL then?
The XFL is –
because it died after one season.
But it's coming back with a new – package. We don't know. Because, again, Vince McMahon has not released all the details of what they're going to do. They've called the NFL a pansy league. And it is.
I wouldn't say a pansy league. It was more so this is not what football should be played as. Again, they're thinking basically what the XFL came out and said is, hey, the NFL, they're not playing football. They're trying to
they're playing flag football right now, and we want to play football in the XFL.
But I'm just saying, with this new arena league announced, is this something that for those fans who do not want part of the politics of the NFL, think it's a little weak as a league and aren't happy with the celebrations and blah, 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 why people are not tuning into the NFL, is this now, are those fans going to tune in for something like this?
You know, the Arena Football League will do well in the South. It always does. The South is, again, where it doesn't have all of the major football programs. I mean, I know Charlotte is part of it now.
You'll have Atlanta, Birmingham, Alabama, Orlando, Memphis, I guess San Antonio if you want, and then, again, Arizona, I would assume Phoenix, Salt Lake City, and then San Diego.
And what happens in the Arena Football League when your team is like 0-7 or 2-5? The fan support goes bye-bye. Well, it's that quick. You remember when KISS was sponsoring their team in the
L.A. KISS?
Yeah, the L.A. KISS. Remember, it was all big. It was all happening.
Well, it was flashy. Yeah, it was a presentation.
And the team sucked. And guess what? Fans said, we're not going to go to this.
Yeah.
You don't see Gene Simmons along with Paul Stanley wanting to jump on board in Arizona, to put that franchise.
Well, you don't see also, too, Bon Jovi's exploits with the Philadelphia Soul, where, again, they were successful, but still, even out in Philadelphia, no one cared for that team.
So, to answer your question in a real roundabout way, I think the XFL may be a better package program than the Arena Football League. Because what is the Arena Football League going to offer?
And it's not called the Arena Football League; it's the Alliance.
The Alliance, but again, it's still indoors.
Yeah, it's still arena football, but it's not branded as the Arena Football League.
What are they going to offer that's different?
I don't know. It's something that has just kind of recently popped up where, again, teams were announced, jerseys were unveiled, the draft happened. Again, it just sounds like it's just going to be just same old arena football. again, springtime football to kind of keep you entertained until, summertime, I guess, when college gets back underway. It's just reviving arena football at this point.
I think back to the old World Football League. I think to the old Useful League. Now, you look at the Jacksonvilles, the Birminghams, back in the day, the Tampa teams. The South will support the football because, again, they like that sport all year round.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona, I don't think so. I think they're going to move right along to baseball.
Yeah.
San Diego, well, I know they have the Padres.
They don't care about the Padres. And Padres,
but
the NL West is going to be weak this year.
But I mean, think back to the day. Again, I go back to the Useful days. I go back to the arena days. They don't support. Once baseball season in the metro areas where these teams are playing, it's going to take a back seat. And again, the arena football or the affiliated football league, whatever they're going to be called, it's just not going to fly. And again, once you have your set teams that are above 500, that are running away with it, here's your two teams that are going to be in the playoffs, and the bottom tier teams, nobody's going to come to watch them play.
Yeah.
And again, I look back what Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley did with the LA Kiss. I mean, every time they played, I think it was at Staples, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they played at Honda Center.
At the Honda Center, excuse me. When they played there, it was a production. It was.
Well, again, it's to draw those average fans out. It's kind of like a minor league production of going, hey, you might not be watching for the game, but here's all this flash and style to get the family out there.
It was in the 7 million people strong in Los Angeles, 10 million people in that area. And the thing is, people still didn't come out and watch it. Once they went like 0-2 or 1-3, nobody cared. And again, too, I don't know what players you're going to get, but you're not going to get anybody off today's NFL rosters. Maybe there'll be one or two cats that are going to make it to the NFL for summer camp, and then they're going to leave that team, and then you may have one or two guys that'll go up to Canada playing the Canadian Football League. Again, it's just, I don't want to say it's a glorified semi-pro league, but it has failed so many times.
Yeah.
Why do they want to keep on, chugging this back?
As I'm reading through it, again, it's not really clear. Again, they kind of present themselves as professional football. Again, they had the draft earlier today. Again, not without seeing players. Again, it was something that just kind of popped up, at least across social media. It was just, oh, hey, here's this new league that kind of popped up. But again, they're touting off of, hey, it's going to be something that is professional football. Apparently, CBS is going to at least broadcast these games on it. 12-week season, from what I can tell. It will culminate with a championship game as well, too. So, again, is it something that and also, too, there's kind of mixed, at least from what I'm reading here as well, really quickly, it's kind of mixed signals on if it is an arena or if it's just outdoor spring ball now. So that would be interesting if it is kind of a spring ball, at least league.
And again, let's go back to the World Football.
I get that, but I'm just saying why again, is this something to kind of overstep the XFL? Is it something to kind of bring in those fringe NFL fans that are tired of this league and looking for new set of football, don't want to watch college ball, again, want to watch something else? Is that opportunity? Is it going to succeed? Again, it's going to be on national television, so there is that.
Now, let me ask you this. You said something that I disagree with. I think college football is more popular than professional football right now. Wouldn't you agree? From an attendance standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so again, now you're going to bring in this new league, whether they go outdoors or indoors. And again,
it's not really clear on if it is an indoor or an outdoor league, but again, they're just touting off so far that it's a professional league, kind of like Canadian football. Or again, they're trying to be the NFL is what it's reading at. It's kind of what the XFL is trying to do. It's a professional league,
right.
Professional players. We're playing for a championship. That's all what it sounds like right now. Is it's trying to be the XFL, the USFL. It's trying to be that alternative from the NFL.
And here's the problem. Back when the World Football League made its attempt and the United States Football League made their attempt, That's when baseball wasn't even strong.
Yeah.
Baseball's at probably its height right now as far as fan support.
Well, here's some names that they've tossed down as I'm looking at news releases for the Alliance. Kurt Warner named lead analyst for their draft that happened today. Let's see. Hines Ward is your player relations executive, so a former wideout, at least Hall of Famer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And again, it touts off of saying, hey, here's it's a brand that's controlled by professionals, by NFL, at least football, at least people who are looking out for the best of the game.
Looking out for the best interests of the players and in some cases for management as well.
Yeah.
It probably has all of the makings of being something
Michael
special.
Vick is the Atlanta Legends offensive coordinator, so it's trying.
Everybody loves Michael Vick,
but Atlanta, they're going to at least kind of respect Vick. Again, you can't deny what he did for the Falcons, and his off-field stuff is kind of reprehensible. But again, from what I can see, they're trying to say, hey, look, we got this big name here, that big name here, this guy's joining us here, we're on TV here.
Yeah, and you go back in the day to the United States Football League.
Is this something
they had Herschel Walker playing for the New Jersey Generals, owned by Donald Trump?
Yeah, again, they signed Aaron Murray, at least as a quarterback, former Georgia quarterback, to this league. So, again, it sounds like that's what it's going to be. Will it succeed? I don't think so. I think it's going to be of what we see, again, this is something that just kind of recently popped up. It's recently gained traction due to the drafts because, people love their drafts. But is it something that's going to succeed this season? Only time will tell. But in my gut, I don't think people are really going to care. Well, it might, again, you're going to have those looky-loos. You're going to have, for me, I'm curious.
Well, yeah, you're going to have.
But is it something that's going to retain those fans or those entities for that entire season to the championship game? I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, I go back to the old United States Football League, which is in the 80s, and Mouse Davis, who was the coach of the Denver Gold back in the day. Thank you for dropping that. And Mouse Davis brought in the run and shoot offense. I mean, this was supposed to be an exciting brand of football.
Yeah.
And Mile High Stadium, the old Mile High, which seated 75,000 or something like that, they were lucky to get 32,000 in the stadium there. Elway, when he had the Denver Crush or the Orange, whatever they were called, who cares? They didn't draw anybody. I mean, the fan support there was
Yeah.
You're competing with a renewed baseball product. You're competing with basketball in its climax of the season.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
So February, March. Yeah, so again, you got hockey playoffs, NBA playoffs, spring training, start of baseball season. Is that going to detract eyes? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But are there there are NFL fans out there that are looking to watch football again that may not care about college ball. Again, there are entities like that. And this is that league for them right now. They're going, hey, here's football. It's got these big names. It's going to be different than the NFL. Again, select markets clearly as, again, only 8 teams in southern states, or at least kind of the southern half of the U.S. There's that option. But is the product going to be good enough? Are the names going to be big enough to retain these, these fans throughout the season to carry on to 2019, 2020? Again, 2020 is right around the corner where the XFL is supposed to be doing the same thing.
Well, and here's what's going to happen. And you said it best. You're going to be a looky-loo. So let's just say,
I'm curious.
Just say for argument's sake, you went to San Diego's opening day.
Because I was curious as well when the UFL was out, the United Football League, and that died mid-season.
But I'm just saying, you would probably go to the San Diego first game of the season, and that's it.
Well, for me, I'm at this point looking at those teams, I really don't have any rooting interest.
And again, you got Kurt Warner, you mentioned Hines Ward, a couple of former big names in the NFL. What are they going to do in the affiliated league if they're outdoors? Are they going to allow quarterbacks to be hit?
I would assume so. And again, this is something we'll have to do.
I mean, are they going to dump the Brady rule? Are they going to again not allow helmet to helmet because that obviously is dangerous?
Again, reading of the about at least of this league, it sounds like they're trying to do what the XFL is trying to do as well, of kind of separating themselves from the NFL, going, hey, we're just going to play normal football. We're not going to complicate it. It's just going to play football. Here's that opportunity for those who were not drafted in the NFL or who want to jump ship from the NFL and come on and join this league. That's that opportunity. So, again, it's trying to pull a USFL. It's trying to be those other leagues. But, it's at a – for this league, for the XFL, I think it's at a perfect time possibly where fans, again, of diehard fans of the NFL aren't too happy with the league right now.
And
again,
I understand that.
How many complaints do we have, again, of referees, of this rule, or, again, the product is that bad, or, again, something political here.
And I'm just going back, even the NFL Europe failed. Again, the NFL as a corporation is such a big monster. Even though the USFL beat them in court, Donald Trump beat them in court, for the monopoly part, the NFL is going to control everything until you have a brand that can either surpass it or at least go toe-to-toe with it. Now, hopes to me would be pinning on the XFL.
And the XFL is looking like, again, as they're trying to slowly build this thing up, they're trying to be that league that is going to be on that same level.
I think this new league that's coming into play, I think what they're going to do is they're just going to be – it's almost like – it feels like they're going to be that middle-of-the-road type of league where they're actually leaning to help the NFL and trying to put a kibosh to the XFL.
Maybe. Again, that's why I'm just trying to.
Yeah, this could be just.
Is this something that kills the XFL? Is it something that hurts the XFL?
It's a plant league. It seems like to me, but I just see.
And again, we don't know much about the XFL because again they have not revealed much, and they probably won't until next year, if not closer to 2020, of detailing of what they are going to do along with their teams and how play is going to happen and everything else about that league. So we don't know. We don't know much about this current league. We don't know what's going to happen with the XFL. Are fans going to tune in for something new for spring football? I think so. But nothing as monstrous as what the NFL is drawing.
The TV ratings back in the day for spring football were just...
For leagues like this, I think it's at the best time.
If it's in an arena or if it's outdoors, it's just not going to fly. Not during springtime.
Yeah.
It's just been... proven over and over and over and over again.
We got to take a break.
It just doesn't fly. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. Take a quick look at the Heisman Watch after these words.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy, we'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com. Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys, heard only right here for this week, include Patron Silver Tequila, 750 milliliter bottle, $32.99. Butter Bud Light, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans or bottles, $10.49. And Malibu Coconut Rum, 1.75-liter bottle, $21.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 48 and winds out of the west at 15 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 31. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 54. And on Wednesday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 27.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming sports talk radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
So reading more into that league, and we'll
And it's
dump
exactly
it here.
what I said it was.
Yeah, it's looking more like a NFL developmental league, not owned by the NFL, but it's to get players who are at least kind of weren't drafted. It's kind of more for your players, like, for instance, coming out of Wyoming. If for whatever reason Andrew Wingard is not drafted, he's an undrafted entity, maybe this is the league for him.
Like a free agent league.
It's kind of like the NBA G League, where it's developmental to get them ready to possibly go play for the big dogs. But again, it's still professional. They're still playing for a championship. They're still getting paid for this. But again, it's to try and elevate their skills to move it up. So it's more of it's trying to look out for on behalf of the NFL and possibly block the XFL from what they're doing.
That's exactly what it is. It's a stopgap measure.
But it's not owned by the NFL. It's just a developmental league to possibly send them off to the NFL. It did not say anything about sending it to the XFL as well. But again, it's just a developmental league for those who are not ready to at least play essentially on the big stages at this point in time. So again, hopefully I'll do what I can to see if we can outreach and talk a little bit more about this league, get a little understanding of what.
Get old Kurt Warner. 514.
He was just an analyst.
514-1071. That's our telephone number, 307-514-1071. The reason I'm throwing that out there, maybe somebody out there, because I know we had a call yesterday and we went to a break, that may want to talk about the developments with the Wyoming Cowboys as they became bowl eligible.
There's not much to say anymore.
No, as we talked about it yesterday, it's going to be.
Are they bowl worthy? No, in my opinion.
Again, but if they get in,
it's not.
It's going to be by the hair of their chinny chin chin.
Absolutely. Again, it's going to be a bowl game that's really nothing to be excited about. Again, it's not going to pay too well, and I think that's fair. If again the Cowboys are able to make it to postseason, at least play action,
I
don't think again 6-6 of what they did this season. I don't think they deserve.
Well, we ran the records yesterday, so we put it all out there before you. And again, give us your opinion if you want more on it. We've got it here in front of us.
Anyways,
the one thing that I was looking at here was we haven't talked about it at all, really. Was the Heisman Watch, and the one person
have I been watching the Heisman Watch? Do I care about?
Well,
the Heisman Watch?
It's coming up on the 8th. They're going to do the actual Heisman presentation coming up on December 8th. But the one was actually two quarterbacks that I've had my eye on. The kid out of Oklahoma, Kyler Murray,
all right,
and then the one we saw earlier this season at UW, Minshew from Washington State. He put together a very quiet, good season. Unfortunately for him, and I think this might just push him right out of any discussion. I thought maybe he'd be one of three that would get the invite, but last week against Washington on a snowy surface, I mean, it was absolutely god-awful football conditions there. I mean, he threw for 152.
It's not awful, but it's something that Pullman's used to.
Yeah, but I mean, he threw for 152 yards. He had 2 interceptions, so pretty much I think kind of, put him out of the race. But the guy on the season, and think back to what he did with Wyoming, he was okay passing-wise, but he really went crazy in the second half. That's when he started accumulating yards with the completions. The guy so far this season for the Cougars, 4,477 yards he's thrown for, 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's not much in the way of rushing the football. I mean, he's a guy that either throws it or throws it away. He's only rushed for 103 yards. But, I mean, some huge numbers.
And that's good and fine.
Yeah, he's not going to be in the discussion.
Here's my thought, and I'm probably not alone in this. I might be in at least minority on my thinking about this. But with the Heisman Trophy, it's something that I don't subscribe to. I don't really.
But it says you're the best college football player in the nation.
But I think also too with that, it does overlook a lot of possibly great, at least mid-major players that don't probably get a whole lot of looks. Is it something that, say, for instance, again, Josh Allen, of what he did the recent years with Wyoming, kind of revitalizing that program, was he Heisman worthy? No,
not even.
No, not necessarily. But I think there are kind of mid-major players that do sink under that radar that maybe deserve.
And I think they'll get the recognition, but they fall off the charts. You only have to have one bad game.
Again,
Nick, you have to have one bad game and you're out.
Well, I get that. Again, it's for me, that award, it's usually awarded to your elite teams, your Power 5 schools.
Okay, Alabama right now, Tua, how do you say his name? Tagovailoa?
I don't know.
He's a front runner right now. And let's see, Kyler Murray, number 2, Dwayne Haskins, number 3, Will Grier from West Virginia, who threw for a lot of yards here this past weekend.
Big 12 SEC.
And he's number 4. And then Minshew is number 5. Then a couple running backs. Throw them in there. Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin.
Big 10.
And then Darrell Henderson from Memphis. So there you go, from a lower tier of the.
Didn't Memphis move to the ACC though?
But I'm just saying, it's again Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, West Virginia, Washington State, Wisconsin, and then Memphis.
That's still Big Ten. Wisconsin's still again part of that elite squad there in the Big Ten. So again, for me though, looking at these kind of awards, at least especially the Heisman, it really doesn't do anything for me. Again, of saying, hey, you're the best college player. Again, it's a nice little thing for these athletes. But is it something that I pay attention to? Is it something, again, out here in Wyoming where, again, is a Wyoming Cowboy ever going to hoist that trophy? Probably not in my lifetime. Probably. I think again, is anyone in this front range in, I think your best team, again, only because they do play in the Pac-12, would be if the Buffs find some victory, some way to get back into prominence, which they have done, which they can do. But other than that, though, CSU, are they going to have a Heisman Trophy winner anytime? Air Force, are they going to?
BYU, no.
Yeah, BYU. I mean, even in the Mountain West, I think probably the best team, if at all, is Boise State. But I think even the Bronx don't even have a shot to have a Heisman winner.
If you look there, you don't see Rippion's name in that list.
No,
a 4-year starter.
Yeah.
For the Broncos, and he's not even on that list. But here's the interesting point, and you said, anybody in our around area. I think back to when Marcus Harris was the wide receiver and setting record after record for the Wyoming Cowboys. He wasn't even in the talk. He won the Blitnikoff Award, for being a wide receiver.
Those rewards, at least those awards are a lot fair. Again, I like those. Again, here's your best wide receiver, your best QB, your best offensive lineman. Those are very respectable of going, all right, hey, Central Michigan, here, Wyoming, here, again, San Diego State or whoever else. You look at La Tech if you want. Again, those mid-major schools of going, okay, yeah, you're not going to be eligible for this top dog award, the Heisman, that's everyone is kind of, at least for across the nation, has all eyes on. But these lower down, the Blitnikoffs and absolutely all those, those I pay attention more. Because, again, the players from Wyoming, the players from CSU, the players from the Mountain West or the Sun Belt or the MAC, they have a shot at.
Right.
They have a legitimate shot at and can absolutely win it. The Heisman, it just seems, again, for being a fan of Wyoming, going to school at Idaho, again, the Heisman's never approaching those hallways there in those campuses. So for me, again, a fan of those teams, a fan of those leagues, those at least of these conferences, I just, the Heisman does not speak to me like the Blitnikoff does, or the other lower down kind of, at least not even lower down, but the other awards that are at least spotlight on those individual positions.
And here's dependent on what their careers may hold for them. But right now, the kid out of Alabama is a sophomore. Murray out of Oklahoma is a junior, and Dwayne Haskins out of Ohio State is a sophomore. So right now, the top 3 that has kind of distanced themselves, they all could be eligible to win it again next year.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe for a couple more years, barring Murray winning it. But again, who knows if these guys bolt to the National Football League after this season.
Almost seems like winning the Heisman is your kiss of death, though, if you move on to the NFL, where, again,
in some cases, yes, in some cases,
Reggie
no.
Bush, what did he do?
No.
Not a whole lot. RG3 has not done a whole lot in his career. I think the only one, again, I think last year went through this, but again, Cam Newton's been your one success of what he did at Auburn. Clearly, again, what he has done with the Carolina Panthers, but again, a whole lot of names you look up and down that list.
Well, Baker Mayfield won last year.
Matt Leinart, he stayed in the NFL for what, 3 or 4 seasons?
Well, here we go. Let's go back over the last 10 years. Baker Mayfield, I think he's doing very well.
Again, with Baker Mayfield, that's up in the air.
Okay.
Could it go sour? Absolutely. Again, playing for the Browns, anything can happen.
Lamar Jackson from Louisville, who's with the Ravens right now.
Still up in the air.
Derrick Henry. Yeah. Marcus Mariota, 2014. Jameis Winston.
Nah, that's a bleh.
Johnny Manziel in 2012.
He doesn't even play in the league.
You mentioned RG3 in 2011. Cam Newton 2010. Mark Ingram.
He's not
2009.
Well, Ingram, I mean, he was somewhat successful with the Saints, but he's really done nothing.
And in 2008, it was Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. To a certain degree, it could be the kiss of death. There's a couple 3.
It kind of seemed like in the early 2000s it was absolutely the kiss of death. Where again, Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, again, all those entities there in the early 2000s.
I mean, you look at O.J. Simpson winning it, and he had a good career back with the Buffalo Bills. And then you look at Archie Griffin, if I remember, with Ohio State. His career didn't, he won it twice for Ohio State, and his career didn't do nothing.
Well, you even mentioned Herschel Walker. What did he do again? Jumping ship to the USFL. He didn't really do much there, and then jumping back to the NFL. Didn't do a whole lot in that one.
No, he had an okay career.
It wasn't great.
Well, I remember
where again the guy coming out, at least being drafted, was this hyped up thing. Again, he was the spotlight of the USFL. He was the guy that was going to lead that league into new echelons, and clearly did not.
I remember, and again, this is old Pop speaking here. I remember when Jim Plunkett won it, and he was from Stanford, and he got drafted by New England, and his career basically died in New England.
Yeah.
But when he got picked up by Oakland, he guides him to a Super Bowl. I mean, he had about 3-4 good years with the Raiders. So again, there's a lot of names on here though. I can go back in time, like you said, the early 2000s. Before Bradford was Tebow.
Yeah, Tebow, not even
Troy Smith, Matt Leinart, Jason White, Carson Palmer, who just recently retired.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see.
Palmer, who was kind of that Palmer, who he didn't do any. Again, he had a solid career, but it wasn't anything that was upper echelon. Again, had difficulties winning a Super Bowl, even getting to one. But
let me just throw some of these names here. Ricky Williams. Charles Woodson.
Before Ricky Williams got at least into his off-field issues.
You mean like smoking dope?
And again, I don't blame him for that. Go right ahead, do what you want.
But I mean, listen to the names of Charles Woodson, Danny Werfel, Eddie George. He had a good career. Rashawn Salam with Colorado.
No.
Charlie Ward. Gino Torretta.
No.
Desmond Howard. Okay. Ty Detmer with BYU. So somebody from BYU did win it back in 1990. Yeah. Andre Ware. Barry Sanders. Yes. Tim Brown. Yes. Vinny Testaverde. That was okay.
With the Jets, though.
But when he was with Cleveland,
Yeah, but when he went with the Jets.
And then you had Bo Jackson. Who knows what Bo would have done? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, that fluky injury. Doug Flutie, he hung around the league for a long time. Let's see, Mike Rozier, Herschel Walker, Marcus Allen.
Yeah.
It
just seems like it's more misses than it is hits on, again, drafting the Heisman winner, that you have a superstar on your hands. That, again, that's my analysis with the Heisman. It just seems it's more you kind of get duds than you more get, like, again, the franchise QB, the franchise running back, the franchise blah, blah, blah. More so than not, again, when you win the Heisman Trophy. Again, going back from the early 2000s to even now 2018, it still has, in my eyes, that kind of kiss of death of you don't really want to be winning that Heisman Trophy.
I'm looking at all the names here, and this is like from 2017 all the way to 1935. I see 2 Nebraska recipients, 1 Colorado recipient, and 1 BYU. So to answer your question, pretty tough out in this part of the world.
It's pretty quiet.
In the tri-state region, at least, to to win the Heisman. But right now, as of late, Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma, Louisville with Jackson, Alabama in 15, Oregon, which had a good run, under Marcus Mariota, Florida State, Texas A&M, Baylor, Auburn, Alabama, Oklahoma. So
again, Power 5,
exactly,
elite team, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we need to take a break.
All right, well, let's take a quick timeout. We'll come back, and we've got more on Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Perotti inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Sleeker and longer with a wider stance, the 2019 Kia Rio was designed to break the rules and turn heads. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne. The 2019 Kia Rio has what you need without paying too much. Save even more on the 2019 Kia Rio during our Light Up the Holidays sales event going on now. Standard technology includes Bluetooth wireless with steering wheel mounted buttons, touchscreen audio system, rear camera display, and more. Come by and take advantage of some of the year's best offers or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
One of the safest choices drivers and passengers can make is to buckle up every trip, every time. In 2016, seatbelt usage in passenger vehicles saved an estimated 14,668 lives nationally. We know it will save our lives, but too often we forget, many times with dire, potentially fatal results. Make sure you and your passengers buckle up every time. Paid for by federal highway safety funds.
Taco John's wants to help you simplify your holiday shopping and help you score a $5 TJ bonus card. First, the shopping. Need something for your coworkers? Give them Taco John's gift cards. Don't know what to get your BFF? Give them Taco John's gift cards. Mom, dad, brother, sister? 4 words. Taco John's gift cards. Now the $5 bonus card. That's simple too. Just buy $25 in TJ gift cards and you get a $5 bonus card for you. It's going to be a very Merry Crunchmas. Only at Taco John's.
Cheyenne Regional Cancer Services now offers genetic risk assessment and counseling that may help determine your chance of being diagnosed with cancer. If you have a personal or family history of cancer, especially cancer diagnosed under age 50, you may benefit from a consultation to look out for your now and your family's future. For more information about our genetic risk cancer assessment and counseling service, please call 307-634-9311.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
For over 50 years, Capital Lumber Company has offered a full line of hardware and lumber selections. Plenty of materials, even for the do-it-yourselfer. So talk with one of the many experts today at Capital Lumber Company. Capital Lumber Company is the best in the region, and they are your true value hardware store. Lumber One in Cheyenne. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue. The big year-end event is on now at family-owned and operated Terrell Honda during their annual Happy Honda Days. This extravaganza has many special offers, including low financing and the most attractive lease programs offered by Honda on their entire fleet. So stop in for a test drive at Terrell Honda and check out the all-new 2019s that have arrived. Plus, you'll find some select 2018 Hondas that need a new home today. Under the tree or with a big bow in the driveway, don't miss Happy Honda Days going on now at Terrell Honda, 1919 Westland Road, Motor City, Cheyenne, or go online to TerrellHonda.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 48 and winds out of the west at 15 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 31. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 54. And on Wednesday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 27.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
I was going back and forth last night between the ball game with the Texans and the Titans, who
came from behind and just obliterated Tennessee.
Well, yeah, they just punished the Titans. I mean, it was 10-0.
8 in a row for the Houston Texans after starting 0-3. They are the first team to ever.
And you know what? You gotta like Deshaun Watson at quarterback. He's not that bad of a deal for the Houston Texans. Again,
I told you that last season, and then they just downward spiral due to injuries. Yeah. But this Houston Texans team, is it special enough to up in Kansas City or New England in the AFC? Not yet. Not yet. But they have pieces there in place to possibly. Again, they need to add a little bit to that defense. Maybe get a little bit more options, at least wide receivers for Watson to hit. Then yes, then they can compete, maybe represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I think Houston is set in stone to get there, but they just need a little bit more extra help.
You know, if they get there,
is it a team?
Make it to the next round? They got the potential to make it.
Is it a team that I could see competing in the AFC Championship? Yes, I think so. I give them that advantage, but is it something to win the AFC Championship? No, I don't think they have enough yet. Again, I just add a little bit more, at least kind of safeties and cornerbacks, not really doing it for me. You saw last night, at least with Marcus Mariota, taking a little bit of advantage, at least early on in that contest. But I think, again, add a few more pieces in the offseason, draft a little bit, at least coming up. Then Houston, maybe next year, has a legitimate shot of being the top dog in the NFL.
I'm just going to look down here real quick at Houston. I want to see who they have left on their schedule because, you know, again, you tip their cap because they played well. And again, you got Clowney and you got Watt. So
again, this is a team that had these pieces last year. Again, had this opportunity to do this last year. Again, a team I believed in last year, and I do believe I picked last season to win the AFC South. But again, what did they run into? They ran into loads of injuries. Now, it was a young team as well, but again, they ran into the 49ers basically. That whole team was on IR that entire season. But now we're seeing the fruits of the labor. This is what the team should.
Well, and here's good news for Houston fans. Those are the Texans. That was the first of 3 home games straight. They got the Browns next, and the Browns are no pushover.
No, but I think Houston should beat them.
And then you got the Colts. We're no pushover.
That's going to be tough, but I think Houston should beat
them. Then they go to the Jets.
You should beat the Jets.
And they have the Eagles at Philly.
You should beat the Eagles.
You should, but I don't know if they can.
I think, again, Philadelphia does not look anything impressive.
And then they wrap up at home with the Jags. So
yeah, you should take care of the Jags. Jacksonville's just terrible.
Well, you know, every time people write them off, then they come back and sneak up on somebody.
The Jags?
Yeah, they
have nothing to play for.
That's just it. They have nothing to lose when they go out there.
I guess.
So anyway, I'm going back and forth after watching some of the game, and I'm watching on the Major League Baseball Network, and the talk is already out. And again, I think you can start doing the wheeling and dealing portion of the program here at the end of the month, right? Isn't it November 30th? Where
I think so.
The free agents are,
Well, technically, you can sign people right now. And again, we saw at least Atlanta do that with Josh Donaldson yesterday. Again, signing him 1 year, $23 million contract for him. Also, picking up or at least bringing back one Brian
Or you
McCann.
could do off-season trades, I guess. I'm not sure what, but there's like at the end of the month, things start heating up.
I think that's trades when trades can start, and I think free agency is kind of available right now. You can pick up people, but I think trades is what begins at the end of the month.
And you mentioned something too before we went on there. So I'm listening to the guys over there talking about Paul Goldschmidt as well as Zach Greinke. That the Diamondbacks are shopping. Yeah, they need to unload these guys. Again, the monies are more the problem than anything. But when you unload a Greinke and a Goldschmidt to whoever, that's going to cost you a pile of cash, and it's going to cost you a pile of prospects. Because I'm assuming that Arizona's going to want a Nick Proetti and then about 4 or 5 prospects to go with it. Because the Diamondbacks are like the Giants. They're kind of depleted in their prospect department.
Oh, absolutely. Arizona's, at least their farm system has been kind of tossed around.
I like this with Greinke. Greinke is one of those veterans now who can decide where he gets traded to.
Yeah.
And he's got a list of 15 teams.
All right, so half the league.
That he doesn't want to go to.
All right.
And the one team that's really interested in him right now are the St. Louis Cardinals. He has no interest in going to St. Louis.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then you brought up, and again, too, our Giants. the Giants right now, who basically said everybody's available.
Absolutely. Again, no one
except for Buster Posey.
Except for again, the franchise face, and I think that's right. Again, the guy who was Rookie of the Year, he's been MVP, he's done everything. Comeback Player of the Year, yeah. Again, the guy who is selling your merch and the face of the franchise, yeah. Again, they're not touching Buster Posey, but everything else, everyone else is at least available for sale, and that includes as well too World Series MVP, 3-time champion. And that's some Bumgarner. Yeah.
Well, and again, Giants got a new general manager, new front office.
Guy out of
Los
L.A.,
Angeles, yeah.
The Dodgers.
So here's the deal, though, with Mad Bum. I think this is his last season before he becomes a total free agent.
Yeah.
But let me just throw this out here. Just
again, a guy who's been recently injury prone, who's had a lot of time off. Again, due to the ATV accident. Again, granted. Technically his fault, but it is kind of one of those freak accidents. What happened to him in spring training, again, getting the line drive that broke his finger. Again, not much you can do with that, but again, the guy he's missed a lot of time, and even recovering back from those injuries hasn't quite looked like the old Madison Bumgarner of those World Series days.
So let me just throw this out here just for giggles. Would a trade straight up for Greinke and Mad Bum go?
Maybe.
Well, I'm just throwing.
I don't know if Arizona would. Yeah, again, you're division rivals, but it's not a heated rivalry. It's not like working with the Dodgers and Giants. Is it something that they could do? Is it something that I expect that will happen? No. Straight up though, for Greinke, for Bumgarner, again, you're both getting ace pitching.
Well, if the Giants were to pull a deal with the Diamondbacks, they're going to want Goldschmidt.
Yeah, I think as well. So again, that would alleviate at least, again, your third base problem, at least, again, where
first base.
Well,
was Goldschmidt. He's the first baseman.
Yeah, I guess.
But what I'm saying with Mad Bum, you go Mad Bum.
He's played sometime at third, hasn't he?
Most of his career at first.
Yeah.
But I'm saying with Mad Bum, and I'm just throwing this trade out.
Well, even first base, that takes care of the Brandon Belt issue.
Yeah.
Again,
so you throw in a Brandon Belt.
I don't think you toss him in because I don't think Arizona would want him.
All right. Well, anyway, but again, you throw Mad Bum in, and the Giants
might have to put in a Longoria.
Well, the Giants got a pile of cash too.
Yeah, they have a lot of money.
And again, picking up Greinke's going to be $30 million,
which the Giants can easily afford.
I know, but I'm just saying. So, and Mad Bum's not the $30 million guy yet.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Is it going to happen? Again, it's something that has been discussed. It's something that the Giants have not come out and said. Again, the only thing the Giants front office has said that every player is available. At least we're listening to all offers for every player on this team. Is it something that we will see Madison Bumgarner in a New Jersey coming up in the 2019 season? Me personally, I don't want it. Again, the guy who is kind of in the league of Buster Posey, of that face of that franchise. Again, he is still the ace of that staff. He's the ace of majority of staffs across the MLB.
And he's still young by Major League standards.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the guy was a rookie back in 2010.
Yeah.
So what is he? I think he turns 30 this year, if that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got a few more years left in him. But who knows? Again. And you know what's even more interesting as we get to the top of the hour? You know who's been very quiet here in the offseason?
The
Rockies.
No.
The Rockies have been quiet.
That's the Yankees. That's surprising.
Well, but again, you still have the Nolan Arenado situation. You got DJ
I think
Arenado's
on his way out. Same with Cargo. Cargo and Arenado.
Cargo's on a one-year deal, so
I have more confidence that Arenado and Cargo are gone of the Rockies than I think that Madison Bumgarner leaves the Giants. I really do. I think Arenado is going to look internally and go, is this where I want at least my career to be at? Again, a team where he's kind of taken the full workload of this Rockies team. He has been the face of that franchise for quite some time, but it's led him to, again, wild card stints. They can't even win the NL West. They could barely, again, they were pathetic. They were pathetic in the divisional round against the Milwaukee Brewers. It's something, again, I'll say it again. What are these players playing for? You're playing for championships. Is Colorado going to win at least a World Series anytime soon? No.
All I know is when we get into December, it's the baseball winter meetings. I'm excited for that. I'm telling you, there's going to be some good hot stove action coming up here.
It's looking like it's going to be a busy offseason.
And again, by the way, Bryce Harper hasn't declared where he's going.
Yeah, well, that's the key component as well. There's a lot of big names available and possibly to be traded for coming up.
All right, we got to jump to the top of the hour here, and we'll be right back with hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
With hour number 2 in progress, Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating, Mondello's Pizzeria. Oh, by the way, Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. First Tier Bank right across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Lennox Auto Body ×2, the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Berzine Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy, same location as always, Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank, the east side location, corner of College and Pershing, the original location on Vanda High Avenue. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range directly across from Menards. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30 and Taco John's of Cheyenne. Oh, by the way, it's Taco Tuesday today. We get things underway with our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
LCCC in action coming up tomorrow, at least men's action, as it will be LCCC playing host to Northeastern Junior College, as the Plainsmen will travel up here to play in the RAC. Tip-off 6 o'clock, 5:40 pregame here on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM. 1480KRAE.com is where you can listen to all your audio. And for the video and audio portion, go to Periscope by finding at least my Twitter account, Nick Wyo Sports, or either our YouTube channel by simply searching for 1480 KRAE in the YouTube search bar, just like that. So again, at least LCCC men's basketball action coming up tomorrow here on 1480 KRAE. NHL action for tonight, San Jose, the Sharks in Buffalo taking on the Sabres at KeyBank Center. Philadelphia Flyers playing host to the Ottawa Sins. They're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Montreal Canadiens taking on the Carolina Hurricanes at Central Bell Center. Anaheim Ducks traveling to Tampa Bay to play the Lightning. Nashville Predators playing host to the Colorado Avalanche at Bridgestone Arena. Arizona Coyotes traveling to Minnesota to play the Wild. Winnipeg Jets hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins at Bell MTS Place. Vegas Golden Knights on the road in Chicago taking on the Blackhawks. Edmonton Oilers in Rogers Place hosting the Dallas Stars, and the LA Kings travel up north to Vancouver to take on the Canucks. That's what's happening. NHL action for tonight.
In the NBA, it will be the Knicks taking on the Pistons tonight in the Little Caesars Arena in Motown. At American Airlines Arena in Miami, the Heat will entertain the Atlanta Hawks. At the FedEx Forum, the Grizz of Memphis, they will take on the Toronto Raptors. The Lakers and the Nuggets tonight will be in the can at the Pepsi Center as they will hook up around 7 p.m. And it will be the Indiana Pacers and the Phoenix Suns in the Valley of the Sun at the Talking Stick Resort Arena. They will get underway at 7 p.m. as well. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a two-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83? Come on, you're up!
This is the Pepsi that has mastered the art of the late-night munchies and is always down to dig into some deep dish.
Hey, we don't do deep dish, capiche?
Try telling that to Chicago. This is the Pepsi for po' boys, pulled pork sliders, and the godfather of all sandwiches, the Godfather. This is the Pepsi for street carts, anything a la carte, and is dying to make the leap into your grocery cart. Come on, take us home with you. This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Bad cough or the flu got you down? Dr. Howard Willis, with over 23 years of medical experience, is now your local physician for family health and primary care. Located at 1616 East 19th Street with Dr. Joseph Dobson, Dr. Willis offers that wise counsel to get you back on the road to good health. DOTs and walk-ins are always welcome. So next time a bad cold or flu grabs you, call Dr. Willis at 631-8430. That's 631-8430.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to JollyRogersRV.com. There are a lot of things that can go wrong with your vehicle, and most of it is a minor problem. And John at Shine Auto Repair and Service knows the right way to get you back on track. So with temperatures heading south, now's the perfect time to winterize your car or truck. This can be done with a simple oil change, maybe a tune-up, checking the thermostat, brakes, and shocks. It's the little and important repairs that Cars has performed on all makes of vehicles now for over 25 years to keep you motoring along in any season. For an appointment, call 632-0498 or stop on by at 604 West Lincoln Way. Shine Auto Repair and Service, open Monday through Friday.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 48 and winds out of the west at 15 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 31. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 54. And on Wednesday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 27.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
As far as the injuries from the game, guys, Jeff Hireman's got 3 broken ribs and a bruised lung, so he's going to be down for the year. Shaq Barrett has got a tear, I think, in the rib cartilage. He is week to week. And Tremaine Brock has got a bruised rib also, and he's day to day. So that's the injuries from the game that occurred. Obviously, Hireman's a big loss. We've lost 3 guys in that room so far with Butsy and Fumagalli, and now Jeff. He's having a great year. He's a great leader for that room, and so he'll be missed. But we got some guys that we feel good about. And the Koss, he's playing good football, and Parker. So next man up, we got to move on. Questions, guys?
Coach, with replacing Shaq's snaps, is that going to be on Shane Ray, or will those snaps be split among Chubb and Vance?
Well, obviously Shane Ray's next up. So yeah, I mean he would. He's going to be the third rusher, and we'll see how the game goes. But we'll have 3 guys for that position on game day. We've got DeMarcus Walker, who's available also, who plays some in for us on our sub down. So we've got some options there. But obviously Shaq's playing good football. He played, in my opinion, the best yesterday out of all the rushers. So he's going to be missed, especially on special teams also.
Call up to Mark Hemingway?
Well, we'll see. We've got some options there. John's researching it right now, trying to find the best option for our football team. So we'll see what happens later in the week. But he's definitely an option.
This year about how you guys didn't have a lot of room for margin for error. Sure. It seemed like a change yesterday. Looking at the tape for you, was how you were able to bounce back from some of those big plays they had.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm proud of the win. Our team showed grit again and resilience to overcome adversity. But again, defensively especially, it's too many big plays. It's unacceptable to give up that many big plays each week. A 97-yard touchdown and single high coverage. We can't do that. So I'm very pleased that we won the football game, but disappointed in the lapses that we have each week, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop for us to finish the season the right way. So we have to get back to work and and figure out a way to fix some of these issues that we've had on defense and offense. So it's our entire football team. It's a good win. We've won 2 in a row, but we have to get better. We have to demand that we get better from our players.
That's what have you seen in Will Park's game that's allowed him to kind of focus and really brought it away?
I've been very proud of Will. Every time we've challenged Will on special teams or defense, he's played good for us. So we got to challenge him more because yesterday we challenged him to play better at dime and play better for Tom on teams, and he did. He made a big play, obviously, in the high red zone by punching that ball out. So he's a guy, when he's focused and he's on, he can help us win.
We all saw that Phil was fast, Lindsey.
Yes.
What is making him such a good inside runner in your mind?
I think it's speed and it's courage. You got to have courage to run through darkness. And that's what it is inside. Honestly, it is. In this league, the hole's open and closed. He has the courage and the speed to run through darkness, to run through the smoke, so to speak. And he's so fast through the hole. Time the linebackers see him, he's so close to him. It's hard for those guys to tackle him. He gets in the secondary really fast. So I think it's a combination of speed and courage.
Motion and play calling open things up for Case. The motion on offense, how that opened things up for Case.
I thought Billy did a great job yesterday with the smoke and mirrors. Okay, we had a lot of great play calls yesterday. A lot of what we call swipes, which is verticals out of condensed formations. A lot of motions and shifts. A lot of screen game that was misdirection screen game. Pump left, pump right, hit the middle screen. So he did a great job with the game plan of allowing our guys to play fast but slowing their guys down. That defense is really, really an aggressive defense, so he used it against them. He did a great job of calling the game, kept them off balance, and the run game proved it along with the pass plays that we hit on them, the big ones we hit on them. So he did a great job calling the game and game planning the game during the week. All the coaches did.
Vance, was Shelby Harris where he was supposed to be on final offensive play?
He was. He wasn't, okay. Well, he's a zero nose in that defense. And obviously the pass rush part of that defense is not important. So he's hitting the center, he just pops, gets his hands up, and the ball was there. Obviously, he could have been a little bit shorter, not as deep, but that's his job.
Is that the 46 defense or some variation of it?
Absolutely. It's the 46. We call it Cub, but it's the 46 defense, yes. It's our inside of the 5 defense. It's basically a run defense, and if you throw it, we kind of hold on to our butts a little bit. So, but it's a good defense inside of the 5.
A couple of good games in a row, red zone offense-wise. What's been the key with play calling, also execution in that?
I think it's a combination of all of that. Running the football, with efficiency, the play calling's been good, and guys are making plays. We find our playmakers down there. And Case has done a good job with the red zone and third downs yesterday. That goes through the quarterback. So the combination of play calling, guys making plays, and running the football with efficiency has helped us.
Current climate on offense, do you, in your defensive hat as on, do you have to adjust what you think of yards allowed?
You do, because they're going to make yards. Yesterday we saw more RPOs from Pittsburgh than we've seen, and I've seen in 5 years from that team. But that's the league now. It looks like run, but it's pass, so it's almost impossible to defend. So you have to be a great tackling team and just keep the deep ball from beating you, and just tackle the ball and get off on third down, take the ball away. That's the league. That's where it's going. We've actually allowed a lot of yards in 2 weeks, but we've held them to 19.5 points in 2 weeks, and with 7 takeaways. So that's the key in this league. If you can play great red zone defense and hold them to field goals and take the ball away, that's the key. Because the yardage, you have to kind of ignore it, and that's tough for us to do.
Wrap your head around it?
Absolutely. 1,000 yards in 2 weeks, for our defense, that's tough. But 19.5 and 7 takeaways, you got to take it and be happy about it, I guess, right?
They seem to close the loophole on the Justin Simmons leaping deal with the block kicks. Yeah. But there's a small little loophole you guys have found with him.
We actually had one against Baltimore that was illegal. Okay, he kind of started out of the box and kind of ran into the box, got his feet set, and then jumped over. You can't do that, right? You have to be totally stationary and then jump between the guard and the snapper. So yeah, it's a loophole, most guys can't do what Justin did without touching the guard or the snapper. So it's really player-driven. I mean, he's a freak athlete. He can jump and has a high vertical, and it's great timing. It's great coaching by Mitch, Tom also. So, but yeah, it's a loophole, but it's strictly player-driven. Everyone can't do what Justin did there.
Emphasis on not overworking Phil in terms of his carries and workload every week?
It has not. I mean, he's our lead back right now, so we use him as we think fits. So now, I mean, he's carrying the ball as a lead back. He's doing a good job at it. He's playing first, second, and third down. So now.
Do you think he needs even more touches then?
Well, I'm not sure. We won 2 games, so no. You know, until we lose again, I'll say yeah, I guess, right? But no, he's fine.
Man on the special teams.
Yeah.
Punt-wise, has Colby been better than you expected?
I'll tell you what, man, Colby's been a nice surprise for us. He had a slow start. I mean, he's a rookie. He's the first time punting in this league. But the last couple of weeks, he's been definitely a weapon for us. He flipped the field 3 or 4 times yesterday for us and saved us big time with that offense. So he's doing a good job. And Tom's a hell of a coach, guys. I mean, we've got, 4 or 5 blocks this year, between field goals and punts. I mean, he's doing a hell of a job with our teams. We're young on teams. But, we're very, very sound and very, very smart, and we play hard. So he's doing a great job with that overall unit of him being so young with those guys.
Is Cortland Sutton pressing in your eyes? Hasn't quite had that breakout game since y'all traded away DC?
Well, he has. He didn't play great on Sunday. He had a couple drops, and I wouldn't say he's pressing, but he wants to make plays. I thought he played well against the Chargers. He made some big plays in that game, but yesterday it was kind of hot and cold. It wasn't great. He would tell you that. But he's got to keep working, and, being an every down player, it's different than being a part-time player. It's what Roby went through. You want to be the starter, but it comes with responsibility. So he has to continue to work his craft and route running and catching the ball and blocking and assignments, and he'll get there. I mean, he's a special talent, but it takes time sometimes.
Key for the defense the last 2 weeks of forcing all those turnovers?
I think just the guys playing hard, rush and cover. Our rush has been really good. I think the DBs are playing tight in coverage and making plays on the ball, and that's the key. And it's called takeaways for a reason, right? You got to make it happen. You can't hope they happen. So that's been a key. 7 takeaways and 0 turnovers in 2 weeks. That's why we're 2-0 in 2 weeks.
What's been the difference with Roby the last couple of weeks, you think?
I think Roby's played really good football outside of that one play yesterday, which happens, and you would hope Stu would get him down for a 30-yard gain. So he is definitely playing more disciplined football. He's not chasing plays. He's just playing technique, and if you do it right enough, the ball will find you. That's what he has to understand as a young corner. But young corners chase plays, and when you chase plays, you get exposed. So he's understanding that. Don't chase the plays. Just play technique, play smart, play good with your eyes, and let the coverage help you. And he's doing that. So he's playing better football for us. Yes, Mike.
I'm not sure how much Patrick filtered, but a couple weeks ago there was some considerable heat on you. I was just wondering how you handled that when things were tough personally for you, and how you got through that to this point now.
How do I handle it, Mike? I didn't, Mike. I didn't. I kind of ignored it. I don't read much. He tells me what's out there, in small doses. But, Mike, I really don't care. My focus is the players and the coaches. Honestly, that's my attitude. I knew it was going to turn. We've played too much good football, and we worked too hard not to have some success. So I knew it was going to turn eventually. It took us some time. But again, Mike, we're 5-6. Right, we're 5-6, and that's it. So I mean, we've done nothing up to this point, in my opinion. We don't win Sunday, we're 5-7. That's ugly, right? So, we want to focus on the Bengals and try to become even, to be 6-6, and that feels better than 5-6. So we'll see. But as far as my deal, Mike, never a concern, not one moment.
What will it be like for you to go back to Cincinnati this week?
It'll be fun if we win. Now, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a tough opponent. Marvin's a great friend, a great coach, and he'll have him ready to play. It's also a 5-6 team that has a chance to make the playoffs also. So, they'll be ready to play. It's a AFC North opponent. It's going to be a physical game. They have great playmakers on both sides of the ball, so it's going to be a very similar challenge to what we just faced last night.
Case has managed to take care of the ball and still make some big throws with a lot of moving parts around him. What have you liked about his development and his play over the last few weeks?
Case has played his best ball in the last 3 weeks, taking care of the ball and still making plays, because it's a fine line between that. Sometimes to make some plays, you're taking some chances, and I mean he's been good with the ball and still making plays for us. But that's his maturity. He's a winner. You know, I've never doubted Case, and he's playing better and better each week.
For Shelby, he was cut 7 times before finding a home here.
I tell you what, my first spring here, when I watched Shelby work out, I told Kolar he's got about a week before we cut him. I mean, he was that bad that spring, and I guess the light came on, and the guy's been playing really good football for a year and a half since I've been here. And he's a real guy. I mean, he's considered a starter for us. Rushing the passer, he's stout. He plays nose, 3 technique, 5 technique. He's a really good football player. So I don't know what happened in that spring, what Bill did to him, but he was almost out of here in the spring, and he flipped it, and he's playing really good football. Really good football.
Last one, Jeff.
Did you have to address having a little success with this team, or?
I think we get it. Again, Jeff, we're 5-6, you know, so I think we understand where we've been. I think the guys are still pissed off that we're not better. You know, that's the way I feel when we win these games. I look at the Houston game and go, okay, this is nice, but what happened in Houston? So I'm like a critic, you know, for us. So I think we all feel that way, that we could be better, but we're not. So we have to go make better happen. And 5-6 is still not satisfying for our football team. You know, not for me especially. So we'll see. Let's get 6-6 and see how that feels. But 5-6 feels like nothing to me, honestly. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day.
For the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480KRAE.com.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Are you tired of paying ATM fees? Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank in Cheyenne. Use your Platte Valley Bank ATM or Visa debit card at any ATM anywhere. We won't charge you a fee on our end, and we'll reimburse any fee you incur at any other ATM. That's right, no ATM fees at Platte Valley Bank. How about that? Platte Valley Bank, 3310 North College Drive and 421 Band High Avenue, or pvbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Community banking for you.
Shopping for the golfer on your Christmas list is really easy when you stop into the Airport Golf Shop or the Prairie View Golf Shop. Right now, enjoy savings up to 50% off on selected items throughout, and remember, gift certificates are always available. Or talk with Mike and his staff about golf repair or re-gripping the clubs for next season's play. From golf balls, apparel to golf clubs and more, do your holiday shopping for the golfer today at the Airport Golf Shop at 4801 Central Avenue or the Prairie View Golf Shop at 3601 Windmill Road in Cheyenne.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
It's time now for our Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show, which is on Wednesday, but we moved it to Tuesday because we won't be here tomorrow. We'll be doing collegiate basketball, JUCO basketball over at the RAC with LCCC and NJC the Plainsman. We always have Coach Breener in, but he's not here, so...
Well, I kicked him to the curb. It was a bye week, and again, we've already got the insider information on Northern Colorado.
I was more clued on how much turkey he ate over the week. So we figured, what the hell, we're going to bring Steinbrenner to the West in here.
We'll get the State of the Union address.
And we're going to get the State of the State with the Stampede. But, actually, Mark Lantz joins us. Before we talk about Stampede family, let's talk about the Western States Hockey League in general. How things going? You've been a part of this league for many years now, Mark. And it's, there's been a team here, there's been a team there that goes, packs up and leaves. But the core teams, since you have joined the league, still are going strong and still are good draws.
Exactly. I mean, we're the WSHL is expanding again. You're probably going to see more teams in the western provinces of Canada shortly. They've got four brand new teams up there now. We see that if you look in the WSHL standings, 2 of them have broke into the top 10 teams in the league, which is good. I mean, it's all good for league growth. And Ron White, our commissioner, president, CEO, god of the league, whatever we want to call him, continues to put in new teams around the United States, around North America. We're still west of the Mississippi, and go all the way to the Pacific, down into Texas, and back through. So
it's not as convoluted as the ECHL, where you have teams all the way out in the Pacific as part of the East Coast Hockey League. But at least keeping on the theme with those Canadian teams, is that something for Stampede fans? Is that something that we'll see these teams come down to Cheyenne? Will the Stampede go across the border to see these Canadian teams? I mean, is it something that we could see new opponents for the Cheyenne Stampede?
Absolutely, Nick. I mean, we're looking. We sent 2 or 3 teams north into Canada that we thought were pretty much matched, like talent, and played 2 full weekends up there to kind of bolster their schedule and help them. The Canadian provincial teams, the division, will be joining the rest of the league at the showcase coming up here in 21 days in Las Vegas. And so it will be I'm sure as that league grows in the provinces, the western provinces, I'm sure you're going to see crossover games there. What we've just got to be careful of is the cost of that.
Yes.
The real dollars and cents of telling a team, Mark here in Cheyenne or Steve down in Colorado, hey, you got to run to Alberta. Well, that's it's quite the trip. I mean, and so we try to balance out our travel inside the league. Our commissioner actually looks at a road map and says, okay, well, this team's going to travel this many miles, and we kind of figure a basic, and don't really make teams unless they request to travel clear across the nation. I mean, I know Ogden is doing a lot of travel. Salt Lake is doing a lot of travel out of our division, but I think most of that is upon their request. They want to go play the top dogs in the Midwest division, or they want to go play the top dogs in the Northeast. So they're going to have, a little extra travel if they request that.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the expansion of the Western States Hockey League. And again, this might be a poor correlation. I'm thinking of the Cheyenne Sting, soccer, how they have the under 8, under 10, under 12, under 14. Is that explosion happening in the junior hockey ranks right now across the 48 contiguous U.S. states? Again, we know the Minnesotas of the world and the Michigans of the world and Utahs and Idaho and even Cheyenne, Wyoming. We have kids that are involved in hockey, but is it catching steam throughout the whole country right now, where these junior hockey programs are getting ready to put people onto your team?
Well, you're seeing that the kids, the youth level, they're wanting to come in, but as junior hockey is adding and contracting. it's very fluid because it's a quite frankly, it's a very, very expensive opportunity to chase. The business model has changed so much in the last 2 to 3 years that it's getting tougher and tougher to get newer teams in. It's getting tougher and tougher to recruit and entice players to come out to Cheyenne, Wyoming from, Boston. You get players from Boston, let alone from Istanbul, Turkey, like you have got Hakan coming to speak a little later, to get a kid out of Black Diamond, Alberta. It's really tough. I mean, the travel, it's still a big deal to go do it, but I think there's a wind of change. I hope just it isn't a Cheyenne, Wyoming wind right now.
A big gust coming out of the high plains. But I want you to expand upon it, something that we haven't done yet, but expand upon about these costs, though, for these players. Again, looking at sticks, pads, skates, all this stuff, but just
ice time.
Absolutely, but it kind of expand for folks who do not understand, or at least folks that might be or kind of curious to put their young athlete into hockey. But just tell us, I mean, how much are these costs at least kind of adding up for these players?
Parents, don't do it.
It is a very costly proposition.
But again, we're looking at skates, pads, sticks.
It's probably one of the most expensive youth sports to get involved with. Probably one of the most expensive sports, unless you're an equestrian rider, where you're buying, a $10,000 horsey. But you've got sticks that our players are playing with and probably breaking 12, 15 of them a season minimum, that are anywhere from $150 to $200 a copy. And
they're like baseball bats.
Yeah, but they break a lot quicker.
They break a lot quicker, yeah.
You've got, a pair of skates anymore. You can buy cheapies. You can buy cheapies of any sport product, but I believe in the better equipment, and especially at the junior level, the junior minor league level, when you're in those skates every single stinking day, if you don't buy good skates, if you don't buy the pro models, which there are differences, there are huge differences in a pro model skate and just a used skate, you're anywhere from $600 to $1,400 for a pair of skates, period.
And that, would they be like baseball cleats for me? Do they go down? You have to replace them once a year, or they got to be replaced twice a season?
Well, skates. The neat thing about it is you're not replacing the boot, Larry. You may have to replace the steel, the blade.
Yeah.
It's got a piece of stainless steel or titanium blade, where the blades are $100 a crack,
and they wear down.
They wear down because they get sharpened. Who our equipment guy is always sharpening skates. And so the more you sharpen something, just like your kitchen knife, the more you sharpen your best knife,
it's going to whittle on down.
You notice that steel going away, so your edges go away. You've got gear, just the gear that we outfit our team with, and that's the off-ice gear. Just the off-ice gear is a $600 bill per player. And we're talking a windsuit, a warm-up, windsuit, T-shirts, workout shirts, workout shorts, hoodies, winter jacket, things like that. You're looking at a $600 bill per player just for basics, just basics. So when you take a look at the two big items, skates and sticks, unless you're a goalie, then I'm so thankful my kids weren't. I wasn't a goalie parent, and my kids weren't
goalies. The glove, you got the extra padding, all that other fun stuff.
Glove, blockers, leggings. I mean, it's ridiculous, some of the cost of that equipment. And kids are kids. Let's keep up with I got to keep up with little Johnny. He just got a brand new
trend,
a new stick, and there's only like 4 stick manufacturers in the whole world. And how do we have so many brands if there's only 4? And, I've often said, if you could invent a stick that was playable, that didn't break, it seems like, and you can ask any one of our players, it seems like that stick breaks on day 32, which is 2 days over the 30-day warranty. It seems like that is built in. It's like magic. I mean, they've got a cost accountant sitting back there and somebody in manufacturing figuring out how to destroy that stick in 40 days.
But again, it's something. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying we're talking with Mark Lantz, who is the general manager owner of the Cheyenne Stampede, and we're glad to have him in here talking about stuff. You know, again, and this is what basically we talked about this outside. It was like, you know, kind of get away from, hey, you know, it's a great thing we won 2 out of 3, and we had the bye week, and then we're going to get back in action this weekend. But also, too, things that are going to be forthcoming, things that the Stampede does that is behind the scenes.
Well, again, we are also, too, in the holiday, at least season time. Again, with Thanksgiving just passed, Christmas coming up. But, again, the Stampede out in the community, at least here in the city of Cheyenne, you guys have been busy.
Oh, hey, it's one of our busiest times of the year. We just gave a big donation and some help to the Cheyenne AIM Foundation for their military Thanksgiving dinner. The AIM Foundation, their goal is simple. Their goal is to help kind of ease loneliness amongst our airmen. You know, they're home, away from home, during the holidays, and the holidays is the toughest time. And both of you guys know the suicide numbers amongst, young armed forces people. So, we give a little help there.
Well, and also, too, at least keeping on the military theme, before at least that happened, you also, too, had the Military Appreciation Weekend contest at least a few weekends ago where auctioning off those jerseys. Those proceeds also, too, went to military charities around at least the community as well.
Part of that money to Cheyenne AIM came from the Military Appreciation jerseys and the fundraising. People think, we're just selling jerseys and doing that. All that money, every bit of that, every dime of that money, except the replacement cost, for continued jerseys, goes directly to our foundation, which is it's our nonprofit, Stampede Sports. And Stampede Sports awards that money. I think that a pile of that money is tagged still to go to the Warren Wives Club. We always give money to their scholarship fund for them to take care of. We have a couple projects that we're looking at of where the rest of the funds is going to go.
But again, those monies don't go to your pocket, doesn't go to anyone a part of that Stampede organization. It's going to community outreach. It's going to charities across at least here locally, if not Laramie County.
We try to keep all our charitable giving in Laramie County. Laramie County supports us. City of Cheyenne folks, the residents support us. The money's not going to big organizations like the Wounded Warrior Program, and we actually research where and how we're going to get the best bang out of our buck.
Right.
Because if we go and look at some of the other big company or big nonprofits, and I'm sure they all do some good, but I think our dollar goes a lot farther here in Cheyenne, knowing that it goes to the Community AIM Foundation, it goes to F.E. Warren Readiness Center, it goes to the Wives Club. In the past we've given to Project Healing Waters, which takes care of folks with PTSD. So that's what that money's for, And then a week or two later, we turn around and go march the 2 miles in the Christmas parade, which was a lot of fun. And
you beat the storm.
Yeah, you beat the snow.
We beat the snow by like 35 seconds, I think, because it started howling on us as we turned the last corner. But that was kind of that was the first time in 8 years we haven't played on the road or at home for Thanksgiving. So that was the first time, and that was our first experience.
We were coming home from being on the road. A couple things here from me, Mark, before we let you go. And again, I know we're pushing up against the clock here. We were talking before you came in, like baseball deadlines and, trades and free agency. Is there deadlines put upon you as the general manager of the Stampede by the Western States Hockey League that you can make a trade you have to do all trading before Christmas Day, or you want to release a player. I mean, how do you have governing rules, certain times that you can do trading and what have you?
You know, hockey's just like any other sport. We have what's in hockey, it's called a roster freeze date. It comes up in February. It's either the second Tuesday or the first Tuesday in February. I'm not sure exactly what it is because I haven't got there yet, but there are absolute freeze dates on trading, releasing players, and it's just exactly like pro hockey, just exactly the same as you would experience in the pro. There's a roster freeze date and there's a trade deadline that we all run up against, and otherwise you're going to end up with teams that are at the lower end of the echelon. They have stud players, and they're going to be selling those players. And I have a little bit of a hard time with that because our players are where we've have gotten to. They're the ones that have taken us there. And, I don't know if I would like to be the top dog on a team and know that he's coming back next year to play for us again, and then I trade him off just for cash. We have had some players that Austin Dittenhafer, we traded off to the Ogden Mustangs, and he was supposed to come back to us, and lo and behold, he ended up playing for them his final year. So, it's
And granted, we talked with Matt Leishik last week as well, where he was traded, at least within the Western States Hockey League, to the Cheyenne Stampede, or at least I do believe so. Right. He was discussing that again, it was a scary experience, but it was something that needed to be done, at least according to his former team. Well,
and, Matthew's getting a lot more playing time than he would with his former team. Right. So a lot of it's a great deal.
All right, final thought from me, and then we got to do a drawing. We got some tickets to give away. Real quick, you talked about the showcase in Las Vegas. That's something that has been part of the Stampede family since its inception, going out to Las Vegas. This is a very fun time for your players, but also, too, a time to pick up some much-needed points that goes towards your Western States Hockey League point total. The question is, for me, this is also a venture that is, again, very expensive as you head out to Las Vegas.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a good travel agent. My wife, she can do. She finds us great deals. The boys are going to be flying down. We're a little strange. We go ahead and run our shuttle bus down to Vegas also, it's basically so we're not renting a party bus down there to $1,000 a day. So we run our party bus down. It's not our party bus. It's not a party bus, but the showcase is paramount. I mean, that's what a lot of our players are playing for, is because we bring in 100 plus, and I think the number was 120 some yesterday, as I had heard, 120 college scouts into one or two buildings, one or two ice sheets, and they get to see what and who they're looking at for their college team. So it's very, very important to the boys, and it's very important to us, the teams, because that's our mission, is to make our players or help our players go to that next step, the next lap. And so for fun, Larry, I don't think it's fun. It's one of the things. It's an all business trip. 3 hockey games in 4 days. It's 100% business. Of course, we find some time to go enjoy the sights and sounds of Las Vegas.
The poker room of MGM, or possibly,
And that'd be nice, Nick. Yeah. As much as you can with players that are under 21.
Coach Breen, can you look after the players while I head to the Las Vegas trip?
Actually, Mark, you'll catch Mark on the roller coaster at New York.
Or maybe he's an old school. He goes to Fremont.
Yeah, we love Fremont. Coach Breener and I had to head down to Fremont just for the sights and sounds. And
you'll see some sights out there.
Yeah, we've seen some, but Breener's got one coming. I got to get this dig in, okay? Breener owes me dinner, a steak dinner, at the Golden Steer in Las Vegas.
Hit him up for a big one.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Hit him up for the 96. The 96er. And no bread.
No bread. My diet, I just eat that. I had that carnivore diet going anywhere. So, it's going to be probably that 26-ounce prime cut of ribeye at the Golden Steer.
And that bill. Bristle included.
That bill.
All right, we got Mark. Always fun talking to you, and again, continued success. Congratulations too on the Stampede getting on the winning track here this season. Looked like more wins on the way. I think Neil Breen's got them moving in the right direction. Fans, you need to get out to the Cheyenne Iceland Event Center, put your butts in the seats, and cheer on these kids. These kids have worked hard.
Yeah.
And they're continuing to work hard. And again, they're buying into the Breener system.
And guess what? I'm giving you that opportunity to go see at least the Stampede in action coming up this
Thank
Friday.
you, Mark.
7:35 coming up, puck drop this Friday. Northern Colorado Eagles back in action here at the Cheyenne Iceland Event Center, taking on your Cheyenne Stampede. So I'll give away a pair of tickets to go see that contest. Also, two ticket vouchers to go see a Wyoming Cowboys basketball game.
Valid, your choice.
Yeah, again, a valid home game throughout this season to go see the Wyoming Cowboys as well. Pair of goodies to go see our friends at Chick-fil-A at the corner of Del Range and Windmill, supporters of the Cheyenne Stampede as well.
What do we got there?
And then also, from El Presidente as well, too. He's going to toss in for our winner at least a official game puck from the Cheyenne Stampede. It's with the brand new logo as well, too. So very nice as well. And also, too, it's got a logo from our friends over at Pepsi as well, since they sponsor
my buddy Will. Will's always a great supporter.
They are a sponsor of the Stampede as well. So thank you to all who entered on the Facebook side. Again, who entered, liked, comment, shared. So we'll go to the Fishbowl of Awesomeness to see who our winner is today. And it's going to be Sean Newton.
Hey.
Sean Newton will be our winner for the pair of tickets to go see the Cheyenne Stampede coming up this Friday.
Is Sean a he or she?
It's a man.
Okay.
It's a guy.
That's all. Because again, it could be either or. So congratulations.
Don't muddle it. I don't need to do that on air right now. But again, congratulations, Sean Newton. I will message you on Facebook side and notify you how to come by and pick up those tickets. Again, to go cheer on the Stampede and the Wyoming Cowboys. At least Stampede this Friday and the Wyoming Cowboys whenever you feel like it. Because again, it's ticket vouchers valid for any home game.
Just
this
take
season.
them up to the ticket office and they'll give you best seats available. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back, and we got Hakan Salt joining us here on 1480 KRAE.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, everyone shares everything nowadays. They share where they're eating, pictures of what they're eating. Heck, they even share feelings about what they're eating. And that's just fine, but some things you need to keep to yourself, like these new loaded nachos from Taco John's.
Taco John's new loaded nachos are a meal-sized stack of chips topped with sirloin steak or pork carnitas and creamy poblano queso.
Gather around, boys. Let's get a selfie with my loaded nachos.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
Style and value come out strong on the newly redesigned 2019 Kia Forte. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne, and the Kia Forte has new performance improvements and technology innovations that rival the competition, and Forte is priced less. Right now, during our Light Up the Holiday sales event, you could save even more on the new 2019 Kia Forte. Compare Forte to Cruze, Corolla, or Jetta and see that the Kia Forte offers you even more for less money. Come by or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be partly sunny with highs around 48 and winds out of the west at 15 to 20 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 31. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 54. And on Wednesday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 27.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back, As we are into the final moments of our program for today, we've got a chance now to talk to Hakan Salt, who is with us and back here inside our studios. Third season with the Stampede. 18 years old now, and again, a forward. And one thing that Mark Lantz said, like to see you shoot the puck a little bit more. But, you know, the point is you're looking at a different atmosphere this year with the Stampede compared to last season. Tell us a little bit right now the positives that we're moving forward with the team.
Yeah, definitely. The biggest difference is like we're not getting every game is close no matter how good the opposing team is, because we're right up there with them this year. The competing and like the engagement level of the team is way higher than last year. Last year we were just okay with just losing every game and not giving the best some guys. But this year everyone's trying their best. Everyone's giving it all. And we're getting the results, and we just have a win, and we're probably going to roll with it this weekend.
So, again, keeping that kind of positive, at least, attitude for the season, so that's good to hear. But as you talked about, again, we got the victories this past, at least a weekend down in Steamboat, or at least 2 weekends ago. But just talk about that again, where you've been a part of the Cheyenne Stampede again. We know what happened last year, but heading into this season, again, different attitude, different vibe, especially under Coach Neil Breen. But when you guys finally got over that hump, got those victories against Steamboat, again, put 2 on the board, I mean, what was just kind of the emotions in the locker room? Was it just ecstatic? I mean, just kind of describe us that road trip coming back to Cheyenne.
Oh, it was loud. Everyone was cheering and happy. And it like continued all the way back home. No matter if we were tired, we didn't feel it. We were just with the vibe. It was just pretty awesome. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. You know, with your third season with the Stampede, you don't have to come back. You could get traded if you want. What keeps you coming back to the Stampede? And again, we're glad that you're performing for the Cheyenne Stampede.
It's mainly I really love the support the community gives and how like crowded the games get, and definitely Coach Neil, he has a lot of connections. He's really good at what he does. That was a big part of it, and I just really liked here, the town too, and it was a good place to come.
How's it similar to where you're from?
It's actually kind of the opposite, which is why I like it a lot, because where I lived is really crowded, just a lot of people, don't know any of them. Every day you see some other people that you don't know, but here it's just like people know you, you know people, and it's a small, engaged town with each other. That's what I like.
How big is Istanbul?
There's like 22 million people in there.
We're only 60,000. Yeah, there's a little bit of
nice little calm.
Just a little bit.
No such thing as traffic out here. You got to love that. Speaking of Turkey as well, too, we understand at least, again, we love having you out here for the Cheyenne Stampede, but you will be leaving the Cheyenne Stampede coming up, at least understanding in January, to return to go play for your country, for Turkey. Talk a little bit about that. You did it last year. We talked a little bit, but talk about this season. Again, going to go play for your home country.
It's awesome. Like it's definitely a different experience than no matter how good of a level you play in outside, like not national team. It's always a different feeling to play for the national team of your country. You get more emotions and like, that's the biggest part, I guess. Like the more emotions you have, and the more like you want it, and you get to see other countries and visit them. And
where are these games going to be played at? Is it going to be played in Istanbul, or are you going to be traveling across at least kind of those countries around there?
This year it's going to be in Iceland, actually, which is probably going to be pretty cold in January, but
if it's in Reykjavik, yeah, it will be.
Yeah, you need multiple layers all the way up there.
Oh, yeah.
But what other countries? Again, Mark Lantz was giving you a little, at least, grief off air. You saw Russia last year. I would assume Russia's going to be one team returning back to this. But what are some other countries that you might be seeing in this, at least, upcoming tournament?
The better teams that we're going to be facing are China. Iceland is pretty good too. And we also have Australia. They were in the one above division above us, but they stayed this year. So those are probably the top 3 that we're gonna face. But we also have Bulgaria, and we have We have Chinese Taipei, which is a new team this year. They just came up from the division of.
So Flair.
We're talking with a consult. You know,
Flair from all around the world, including Australia.
You know what I'm thinking of when I think hockey. I don't think of Team Turkey. Tell me a little bit how popular hockey is in your country.
It is not popular at all compared to here, at least. But it's getting bigger slowly. We had 5 rinks in total last year in the whole country, but they just made 2 more new rinks around the country, and we have 7 now. The youth programs are getting more engaged, so it's kind of getting up there, which is a good thing.
Now you have your team getting together in January, as Nick mentioned. Do you know any of the players that will be participating in Team Turkey?
This year is probably the year that I know the least people, but I still know at least like half the team, because the people I grew up playing with like aged out, because I was always the youngest on the team. Now that I'm like 18 and up there, I don't know some of the younger kids, but I know like most of the older kids that are my age and a little older, so half and half.
Is it also, and again, I know we're running short on time here, but is it also nice to get back home a little bit just for that short period of time? And again, like Nick mentioned, as you mentioned, Nick, you're going to Iceland to participate in this tournament. But the thing is it just nice to get home and have a little home cooking with the folks? It is
really indeed. I really enjoy, just even if it's for a little bit, being back home.
Absolutely. All right. We want to thank a consult joining us here on 1480 KRAE during our coaches show here for the Cheyenne Stampede. Again, General Manager, owner Mark Lantz has joined us. Boy, I'm about ready to call it a day here. Anyway, we want to thank him for coming in here and chatting with us as well. All right. Before we leave, we've got coming up for you a couple of things. We've got Sherlock Holmes ×2 from 8 until 9, from 9 until 10. It's Suspense Theater, the best of the 50s and 60s inside your radio. Next. Now, on this date in history, what do you got?
On this date in history, I'll leave it up to both of you. We'll keep on the hockey theme. I'll test your, at least knowledge, Hakan. But we'll go back. It is November 27th, back to the year 1960. This Red Wing, this Hall of Famer, became the first to do this in the NHL. Well, this Detroit Red Wing Hall of Famer.
That would be Gordie Howe.
All right, you're on the track.
Gordie Howe to score 4 goals in one game. Got the silver sombrero.
You probably won't get it, but I'll give it to the both of you. At least November 27th, 1960, Gordie Howe becomes the first NHLer to score 1,000 points in his career. So the first ever in NHL history.
And Hakan has only got, 895 more to go with the Stampede, so he should have that all done by the end of the year. Hey, thank you so much. We do appreciate you dropping by. For all of us here, we want to remind you it's Hoops, JUCO Hoops tomorrow. Nick and myself, about 5:40 pregame show, tap time 6 p.m.
Yeah.
It will be the NJC Plainsmen in town to take on the LCCC Golden Eagles. You have men's action only tomorrow, beginning at 5:40. So until then, we will talk to you from the rack, and we